Good afternoon and welcome to Local 5's coverage of Green Bay hosting the NFL Draft. I'm Jordan Lamers.
And I'm Jade Henschel. We're bringing you live coverage of this truly once-in-a-lifetime event from the heart of Titletown.
For that, we're going to check in with our reporter who's been the forefront of our draft coverage for many months in a row.
Yeah, Timothy, what can you tell us about security for this draft event?
Jade and Jordan, the crowds have been poured in from these security gates since they opened at noon. This is both the largest crowd and also the largest temporary structure the NFL draft stage that the city has ever seen, both posing significant safety risks. But public safety officials tell me that they are prepared and have done their homework.
The concern then is the days of the event itself and the increased traffic, the number of fans that are coming into town. That will certainly slow things down quite a bit.
Last year, Detroit had to close their campus as a result of the overflow of fans. And while Green Bay's campus is larger, police tell me that there's still a very real possibility of having to turn fans away.
There are, believe it or not, density professionals out there that will watch that. And it's more than counting the number of people. It's really about space that groups of people take up.
Captain Allen says that overflow fans may be turned toward Lambeau Field or other areas inside the campus to watch the draft. But if the overflow is large enough, closing the campus may be the only option.
If that happens, there may be some temporary closures of the gates while we get that organized and get people going in the right direction. And if that becomes overcrowded, then absolutely we'll close the gates down.
Still, Captain Allen is looking at the situation with a positive lens and thinks there could be a chance the crowd will replicate that of a Packer game day, just not all fitting neatly into the Lambeau Field Bowl.
250,000 over the 3 days is, 83,000 a day, which is very similar to the size of the crowds we see for Packer games. Because of the space is so much bigger and, the staffing that we put out there, we can certainly handle more than that without a doubt.
The final days and hours of the draft will be going over plans, trainings, and checking in with other safety teams.
Thinking about all the contingency planning, doing some additional training internally, visiting the site regularly, meeting with our partners, both public safety, EMS, and our fire partners in this.
Captain Allen and the rest of the security team are ready to apply their knowledge to Northeast Wisconsin's next biggest event after they get through each round of the draft.
I think there's a lot out there that we can certainly tackle for events in our area. And we know that there'll be good outcomes with this event too. So, but I think we kind of wait and see for a little bit and kind of catch our breath after this one.
While law enforcement has a nonstop job to monitor safety, one of the taller and more dangerous tasks of public safety is already completed: the construction of the NFL draft stage.
Things that we're building are very complicated, but we make sure that every risk is assessed before we put somebody in a situation like that. And our crews that have been doing these big builds for 10 years now, since we left New York and went to Chicago.
Every day, every hour that the NFL draft construction crews are working, the Green Bay Metro Fire Department is watching.
Just because it's a temporary structure doesn't mean that it doesn't follow building codes.
The NFL draft stage and other elements are required to be permitted and follow building codes, which is ensured by the fire department throughout the build.
We're just primarily looking at how it's all being put together. So in the event that something were to go bad, we have at least a knowledge of the construction and how we would pursue it from doing rescues if we need to get those done.
Even for firefighters who think they've seen it all, they just haven't.
Completely different than anything we've seen. We're talking about 1.2 acres under one roof. That's a temporary structure. So it's a massive structure.
This is going to be the biggest event that we're ever part of in our careers here in Green Bay. It's going to be bigger than a normal game day, which is, something that we haven't seen, but it's not something that we can't adapt to.
For this testing build, the fire department is keeping a close eye on two things: the pace that the crew is working at, and also the wind.
The thing that we probably worry about the most is if they start to run behind schedule. And then people get in a rush, and that's where injuries can take place. That's where shortcuts get made and mistakes happen.
Fortunately, the fire department says none of that has occurred, and the crews have complied with all requirements so far. But Wisconsin weather isn't always so cooperative.
We've had issues over the last couple days with the wind being an issue just because those are high structures. They're temporary. They look like a big sail.
And even though it's been problematic at times, the NFL says the wind and other weather conditions did not cause major delays. They would simply shift their attention to other tasks on the ground. And as you've seen from our coverage, they managed to get everything completed on time. Back to you, Jade and Jordan.